Hey everyone, thanks for coming back to my channel. As you can tell by the title, this is a quick update on the iron butterfly strategy. I made a video about a month ago. I will link it here. This is an advanced options trading strategy. So as a reminder, the iron butterfly is a credit spread that involves selling two at the money strikes, a call and a put, and buying two further out of the money strikes, also one call, one put, equally distant from those short at the money strikes. I usually do either 50 or 60 wide wings. I mentioned that I opened a separate, smaller account to track these more efficiently, so let's get into the details of that now. I have done this trade 24 times, basically every SPX expiry date, which is usually Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, but that changes around the holidays. So if you're looking closely at the dates, that's why. So I've done this trade 24 times and I have won 22 times. That's a 91% win rate. Not too shabby. So if you want to know how to construct these butterflies, please watch my other video. I feel like once you do them 3, 4, 5 times, they're not that difficult to get the hang of. And your broker should have a option for saving the order form so that you don't have to do the math every time. Who likes doing math every time? All right, let's talk about the winners. As you can see, I've been pretty mechanical about taking profit. Once I have entered the trade, I almost immediately set up my buy to close order and I just leave it working. So my morning flow is kind of this. I wait for my entry. Once my order gets filled, I double check the fill price, I do the math, I take away $1.60 and I set up my buy to close order and I send it. I quickly do the math for my upside stop level and my downside stop level, and I basically just leave it alone. I don't worry about it. I don't stress about it. I move on to other trades. I help my members. I don't micromanage this trade. So the trade has very simple rules. So I don't babysit it and I don't stress out about it. One thing that I'm sincerely trying to work toward in 2021 is stress-free trading. I know it's probably not on most traders' checklists when it comes to making money in the stock market, but it's not fun for me to make money if I have to have an anxiety attack to lock in profits. I have kids to do that for me. So yeah, stress-free trading. Okay, let's look back at the spreadsheet. You can see I took profits early on a few days. I should start making notes about why, but I believe it was because an hour had passed and I was ready to just take the risk off of the table, lock in my profits, and move on. Sometimes being in a trade longer just increases the risk, and I don't want a winning trade to turn into a loser. Like, that's the worst. All right, let's talk about the losers. So even though I've only had two, $500 is quite a big drawdown for a small account. So I need to tweak that some. I may take the average of my first, say, 5 losers and then just cut the trade when my loss column reflects that dollar amount. Because $550 is way too high. But I also can't say, oh, I'll just cut the trade when my loss has reached $400, because some of these were at some point down that much before they turned back into profitable and winners. Not a lot of them, but maybe 2 or 3 of them. And so, had I cut those 2 or 3 at $400, that would have changed the whole landscape of my success. So I also tried to identify what about these 2 days could have signaled to me pre-market that these were not good days to trade this strategy. Neither of these 2 days were significant news days. December 21st, there was an expected move of 39 points. January 4th, there was an expected move of 17 points. So one is high and one is low. So I can't really go off of that. December 21st and January 4th were both Mondays. So there's that. But often people will ask me, okay, what days do you just not trade this? And there haven't been any days where I didn't trade it except for Biden's inauguration day, which for the record, it would not have worked that day. And a day where I didn't have Wi-Fi. It was a Monday. It worked that day. And actually, I put it on Tuesday, the following day, to kind of like make up for it. And it did work. So that's something else that I'll explore. Something else I'm exploring in another account, a bigger account where I can take more contracts and more risk, is running these on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And I've been doing that with like, I don't know, maybe 70% success rate. And what I'll do is I'll take multiple contracts and then I'll cut the first two at the original profit target, cut the third one at 200, the fourth one at 250, and then maybe let the fifth one run. Or if it retraces back to a lower profit target, just cutting it at that time. So there's definitely more profit potential in these. Also, if you look at my spreadsheet from, that was just yesterday, February 4th, there was an outage with E-Trade, and neither of my entry or exit orders were getting filled right away. But when I got filled on my morning entry, and then when I sent my exit order, as I do always for the $1.60 profit target, it got stuck in like a queue, and it didn't fill for like 55 minutes. And it just so happened that the butterfly continued to work in my favor, and it did fill at exactly $4 lower than what I had entered it at. And that does happen often, but it could have very easily gone the other way yesterday, and then I would have had a big fat negative, $400 to show. So that was super frustrating with E-Trade yesterday, but it just happened to work out in my favor. All right, I'm going to share a video that I recorded about a month ago. I didn't record it for the intention of putting it on YouTube, but it's a good learning day. So the first 3 quarters of this day is the perfect iron fly day. You'll see where I took the first 3 off, and then where I got greedy on the 4th one and I lost a bunch of money. So yeah, let's watch that. Friday morning, I alerted this entry, right? At 6:33. I sold to open the iron fly at 13.50. And then at 7:04, I alerted my exit, as I always do, at 160. So here was my first exit, the one that I alerted to the room. So I took a second one off at this price, or at this time, for $11.55. And then I took a third one off right here for $11. So now at this point, I'm up $605, and I had a fourth one, and I said, you know what, I'm just going to let it run. Like, I don't know what I was thinking. I was thinking it was going to be a flat day. Duh. So for the next 2 hours, the iron fly decays to about $9. So over here, I'm up over $1,000 on the day. And now I'm like doing the calculation to not close the iron fly, to just let it expire. And I was calculating to see how much the cash settlement would be, whatever, depending on where the strikes would fall. So obviously here the market starts to turn up. So from right here, my iron fly was worth about $9. Here it had increased to $12. Here, $13 or $14. Here, $15. And finally here, which was my break even, right? My break even price was $37.16. Sorry, no, that's not right. On the upside, it was $37.43. So that's why I cut it exactly here. Anyways, I ended up taking a loss on it. I gave back basically the entire day's gains. I think I came out ahead $85 or something like that. But I mean, how incredibly stupid was that? But I just wanted to record this to show that here the value was $9. And then here it immediately went back to break even. So I lost $300 in value in just one 5-minute candle. So yeah, just putting that out there. So yeah, all in all, a successful couple of months. I'm really proud of this little account. It's easy to grow. It's easy to grow an account when you have $100,000-$200,000, but when you have a small account and you're working with limited capital, it's harder to make gains. So I calculated my ROI at 73%. I just took an average of the margin requirements, since that's how much you have to fork over to get into the trade, right? And then divided it by my profit. So 73% ROI, not too shabby, especially given that this has been a pretty tumultuous couple of months in the 0DTE world, at least. I think on my vertical credit spreads, selling credit spreads out of the money, those have not been doing well so far this year. I think I'm around maybe a 60 or 70% win rate. So that is tough and really discouraging, but nothing in the stock market is easy, you know, and I don't expect that this strategy will always work this nicely. So I can only trade the day in front of me and do my best, find my niche, find my edge in my trading, and, you know, trade small enough that I can continue to trade despite losers. So thank you for watching. I hope you found some value in this video. Like the video if you want me to do another update, another month or two on this strategy. You can always email me if you want to chat. Otherwise, happy trading, guys. Thanks for watching. Let's learn and earn together. Thank you, guys. See ya.